Happy Thursday to you, and thank you for being a part of the program. In local governmental meeting coverage, we'll talk about the occupational tax in Paintsville, as well as the proposed splash pad and renovations to the Olympic pool in Paintsville. And in Johnson County, the first ever, I thought this was really cool, designated poet laureate has been named. And we will hear as well talk about your weather forecast. Hillbilly Christmas in July. The big ride is this Saturday, and that's complete with all the big cash prizes, the silent auction afterward, and so much more. I'll have a quick reminder for you in just a few moments, and a lot of other news and information. And of course, we'll talk about your weather forecast because we have to. And with that said, I need to stress that tonight's program was put together a few hours earlier for a very, special in-house reason, if you will. Can you believe it's been, close to 24 years since this first was seen here on Your News Today. 24 years ago today, our Lacey was born, and has since now turned 24, has gotten married, is a third-year medical student, and I could go on and on and on. Believe me, I could go on and on and on. But let's just say this kind of says a lot.
Grandpa still says only one restaurant has chicken fixed just the way you like it. Famous, crispy plus, or barbecue dip. Only one place has those famous big juicy chunks of breast meat called double dippers with their own special sauce. They got country style fish dinners, hot and spicy wings, tater wedges, and all the goodness you can stand to eat. And oh yeah, we've still got that great corn on the cob.
So happy birthday from us all. Of course, I know she's not seeing this, and hopefully I'm actually with her by the time this airs. Nevertheless, with that said, moving on, Hillbilly Christmas in July, before we go on to other news, is day after tomorrow. This big ride starts at Mineshaft Harley-Davidson in Pike County. Multiple stops, including one here in Sagersville at the Ramey Park. And they have the silent auction afterward, and there's 38 special tickets and John Party tickets and all sorts of cool Harley-Davidson items, a lot of watches and jewelry, all sorts of neat things. And, of course, at each stop, they're giving away $500 in cold, hard cash.
It's time once again for the annual Randy Jones Memorial Ride for the Children's in support of Hillbilly Christmas in July. And this year, y'all can ride anything. That's right, Bobby. You can ride bikes, jeeps, trucks, cars, vintage, new, old, don't matter. It's all good. And it all kicks off Saturday, July 15th at Mineshaft Harley-Davidson in Pikeville. 8 a.m. registration, $25 per ride, plus $5 per rider. We're going to head out at 10 a.m., cruising through 5 counties with a chance to win money all along the way. We're going to end up at the Mountain Arts Center for lunch and entertainment, plus a silent auction and door prizes. And of course, we're going to draw, and somebody's going to win that 2022 Harley-Davidson. It's going to be a great ride for a great reason. Proceeds benefit the children in need at the Shriners Hospital for Children Medical Center. Plan now to join us July 15th for the 18th annual Randy Jones Memorial Ride for the Kids. We will see you there.
2 locations, 2 ATMs, too much history, over 120 years, and just too many reasons not to trust the oldest, only banking family that exists for the sole purpose of helping your families, our friends, grow financially and securely. Lean on Sagersville National Bank for any of your home, auto, commercial, retirement, or online banking needs. And let us help you make your dreams come true. The reassurance of getting your medications and over-the-counter needs at Sagersville's oldest and most trusted pharmacy. The convenience of curbside pickup and call-ahead service. And the fact that you can walk in, order to go, or sit down and get gourmet quality hot fudge brownies, nachos, shakes, coffees, hot dogs with homemade sauce, desserts, and more makes it more than your hometown Good Neighbor Pharmacy. It's a destination in downtown Sagersville, Frazier's Prater Drugstore. It doesn't get any sweeter than that. McGoffin Farm Bureau and manager Doug Green are proud to welcome Agent Jeff Salyer to the agency. Jeff's lifelong knowledge of the community and our people make him an immediate asset for all of your auto, home, life, commercial, and retirement investments. They're waiting for your call or visit at McGoffin Farm Bureau.
The decision about where to begin your child's educational journey is critical to a sense of happiness and success. Johnson County has 5 elementary schools: Central, Flat Gap, Highland, Porter, and W.R. Castle, all of which provide a full array of academic, athletic, and extracurricular opportunities, including future problem solving, basketball, football, volleyball, choir, and band. With a new state-of-the-art high school being constructed, the future is bright for our students and families. Give your child the power of opportunity, only available in Johnson County Schools.
Now going to Paintsville City Council coverage. The meeting begins with Mayor Bill Mike Runyon announcing that in a recent publication that Paintsville was named the 5th safest city in Kentucky. A great thing. Before the end of the meeting, on a couple of different occasions, they would, however, address the police force in regards to how much they're able to pay them. They discussed the occupational tax and an increase there too in an effort to adjust salaries across the city of Paintsville to attract and keep employees.
That discussion following the first reading of an amendment to the ordinance setting the occupational tax, which was proposed to be increased from 1.25 to 1.5%, an increase of essentially 25 cents per every $100 of property valuated.
The thing about it is when City Council looks at our salary schedule, it's really pretty embarrassing.
We've got to find,
and we have to find new ways of bringing in revenue to make sure we can get our employees up at least adequate with surrounding counties as to what they get paid.
or we will continue losing employees.
So this money, does this just go to the general fund, or does it go directly?
It goes to general fund with the emphasis on making sure that we can redo our salary schedule.
With that.
I move that we accept the first reading of the occupational tax ordinance to raise it to 1.5.
So we got a motion and a second. That's all we need, right, Mr. Ball?
After the occupational tax increase was approved by council, a later discussion also referred back to it after 2 councilmen, I believe it was, made reference to some ongoing crime situations in downtown Paintsville, which goes back to needing to support the police force more with more and better paid officers.
Is to be able to hire more police.
Agreed.
And then put the responsibility on the police, if they've got enough people that's working, that you're going to get out and you're going to patrol at that time period. But you're not going to be able to attract new officers paying them $11 an hour.
No, I understand. I agree.
You're not going to be able to do it. So
I agree.
this whole process of what we're going through with this occupational tax, and I know we'll get backlash from the public. I understand that, Waylon, and you can write about it if you want to. I understand. The whole thing about it is we're just trying to get up to where every other county and city around us is. We are losing employees because we cannot, especially the starting pay, we cannot offer people what they're offered in other parts of eastern Kentucky. And until we get to that point, you are not going to attract new employees. That's the bottom line. And you can quote me on that.
I agree.
I mean, that's true, but that's only, are they coming from the jail? Are they coming from Venture Homes? Are they just, where are they coming from?
Coach, I think it's a combination of probably those two, and I also think it's a combination of just your homeless population.
Well, actually, Venture Homes, they had to be in at a certain time. Do they not have a curfew?
I don't think the state requires them to be in at a certain time.
I don't care to go to Frankfurt, and I don't care to go to Frankfurt and meet the state on it. I don't care to go to the jail and meet with them, but something's got to be done.
But I don't want to be rated the 5th safest city in the state of Kentucky, and then all of a sudden all this stuff starts going on.
The other main topic of discussion was the proposed splash pad. They opened only one bid, which had been received, of $187,000 by DWA Recreation to build a splash pad at the rec center where the flower garden used to be, with questions from council concerning the timing of the splash pad and then, of course, the overall funding that they're still short of to see the new pool project completed.
Something I'm confused about that I need to understand. The splash pad, when we start talking about the splash pad, I know it originally was supposed to go along with the pool over there on 321. When we talk about putting the splash pad over here. Like, why couldn't we take that money and put the splash pad over at 321? Is that part of like a government grant? Does that have to be a package deal with the pool, or can we just?
Actually, Miss Kim, and it's gonna take a little bit of time to explain this. We borrowed $1.45 million to put a splash pad and fix the Olympic pool over off 321, which is Park and Playground, and also to build the building. It was an estimated cost of 1.7, which we could have handled at that point in time. Now, you're talking about 3 years ago. So when the first bids come in, they come in at 2.4 and 2.5.
Yeah.
So we thought that was too much money to spend. We didn't have that kind of money. So we had to reopen the bidding process again. Then they come in at 2.7 and 2.9, and for some reason, the last bids we got did not include the splash pad.
So, but I mean, the 187,000, could we use that and put the splash pad on 321, or does that is there an option?
You could use that 187,000, do whatever you want to with it. Okay. You can.
I just don't think it benefits us in July to do this. I mean, I really don't.
Do what now, Coach? What'd you say?
I don't think it benefits us in July to put a splash pad here while we're working on the other. The guy that's helping us has got a guy coming in to look at that. I think we need to wait till after that.
Now, Mr. Baldwin, correct me if I'm wrong, but even if this council votes to accept the bid for the splash pad over here, it doesn't mean you have to build it, correct? They still have to vote to spend the money to build it.
If they made a bid, if you've advertised for a bid and you accept the bid, then I think there is obligation that you're going to do the project.
Okay, now there's your answer.
Well, I want to make a motion that we table it.
I'm going to second that. I just want to see what it's going to cost to fix the Olympic pool.
Yeah.
I'm not against the splash pad.
Me neither.
Not at all.
And so what council's saying, you want to wait
Just
to
to
see
table
what
it for a little
happens
bit.
over there first,
Yes.
and then worry about what goes on over here.
How long would it take to complete the splash pad, did they say?
A month and a half.
So as long as we get it back in front of us before like February or so, we should be good to have it ready before next summer.
I would think
You would.
yes.
Yeah.
And there's no way for us to get it ready for this summer.
This year.
In lieu of that, the vote was 4-1 to table the splash pad project for now. They did open bids for a new street sweeper for the city of Paintsville and approved a bid of $189,917 before adjourning.
Your first designated poet laureate in Johnson County is coming up in just a second. Coming from this week's Johnson County Fiscal Court meeting, Judge Mark McKenzie says the county is going to start recognizing accomplished local poets, as similar as the state does, having a poet laureate that the governor appoints every 2 years by appointing one for Johnson County during this meeting, Robert Stanley Patrick, who has written, I think, 13 books of poetry and other works, I believe, a passion in which he journals his life through his work. He has been named the first.
We want to help integrate that. We know we're into our community because we are a very culturally rich community with a lot of talent. And so we want to recognize that for those who have excelled and have done well in poetry. And so we've actually established, going forward, some criteria for this particular individual. But this evening, we want to recognize our inaugural Johnson County Poet Laureate, someone who is extremely accomplished in what they do. They have a great passion for it. He's come to see me a couple different times. Been kind enough to bring me a couple of books when he comes, and I appreciate that very much. But I would like to recognize him as our Poet Laureate until July 31st of next year.
Patrick accepting this designation after a lifelong love of poetry and publishing his works.
Whereas the Johnson County Poet Laureate designation is hereby established, and the inaugural Poet Laureate of Johnson County is charged with integrating poetry into the community and enhancing the county's cultural position within the community. And whereas Robert Stanley Patrick is a Kentucky author and was born and raised in Johnson County, the son of the late Chester and Mavis Patrick, longtime residents of the community. And whereas Robert Stanley Patrick is a 1965 graduate of Paintsville High School, a 1969 graduate of Eastern Kentucky University, and whereas Robert Stanley Patrick is a Vietnam veteran, thank you for your service, who served the United States until 1971, and whereas Robert Stanley Patrick is a published poet and the author of a body of high-quality work. And now, therefore, I, Mark McKenzie, Judge Executive Johnson County, do hereby proclaim Robert Stanley Patrick Poet Laureate in Johnson County until July 31st of 2024, and encourage all citizens to celebrate this inaugural appointment as an important step toward the cultural celebration of poetry and literary works. Congratulations. Thank you.
I know In the Still of Innocence and Distant Echoes are just a couple of Patrick's works, and I know they, and maybe all, I'm still kind of going through them, can be found on platforms like Amazon, where you can purchase them for read, which I'm in the process of doing. With that said, here's a quick break, and then it's a quick message or two from your McGoffin Farm Bureau calendar.
It is time to upgrade, and Appalachian Wireless has an unbeatable offer for you. For a limited time only, Appalachian Wireless is slashing $300 off selected smartphones. Smartphones like the iPhone 14 and Samsung Z Flip and Fold are $300 off with no trade-in required. Visit any Appalachian Wireless store today or go online at AppalachianWireless.com for details and devices. Because we are you. We are Appalachian Wireless. Terms and conditions apply. Offer valid while supplies last.
Someone dies in the U.S. every 7 minutes from an overdose, and over half of the population gets or takes pills from a friend or a relative. And about 46 million and counting are exposed to narcotics in their drinking water. So don't toss them, flush them, or leave them lying around. Safely dispose of your unneeded meds anytime at Parkway Pharmacy,
Where you can always talk to a pharmacist when you need one.
Get ready for an unforgettable summer of music and entertainment at the Mountain Arts Center with Billie Jean Osborne's Kentucky Opry Summer Show. This year's show brings you 6 incredible nights of sensational performances. Summer is in the air, and so are the incredible sounds of the Kentucky Opry. Don't miss out on this must-see event. Tickets can be purchased now by calling 1-888-MAC-ARTS, stopping by the People's Bank box office, or visiting us at www.macarts.com.
There where every day starts, it's made and it ends. From hitting the floor to hitting the road and back, your feet carry the day's duties. And if you're hurting from what might be a work or sports or stress-related fracture you don't even know about, diabetic, or that all too often heel pain that just won't go away, or any type of pain or discomfort or in need of wound care, come to where they care.
Put your best foot forward and come visit our podiatry team. We care about our patients and their feet.
That's Dr. Cheney and her team at Hope Family Podiatry Center next to Hope Family Pediatrics on the Mountain Parkway. Get great deals on the greatest brands at Conley Tire with up to $150 back on Goodyears, $100 on Hancooks, $100 on Mickey Thompson's, $125 on Yokohamas. And you can always pay now or later. Plus quick service with oil changes, brake jobs, $35 computer diagnostics to fix and repair your ride at Conley Tire and conleytire.net. Don't forget that next week, Wednesday the 19th, is the regular commodity day for the month of July for the Water into Wine Food Pantry. 8 till 10 Senior Commodity Day is next Thursday the 20th, and as always, they remind you to keep your eye out for those random curbside giveaways. That is next week, Water into Wine. And remember, still ongoing applications available. Call 349-1919 or stop by the McGoffin County Conservation District for their 50-50 cost share program for bush hogging on your farm or property. If it's done between, I think anytime between like now and December, that you can apply now and then get up to $250 back. They'll do a 50-50 cost share with you. And I'm glad to share all of your announcements and birthdays and anniversaries. Just send those to me so I can pass them along to everyone else. Now for funeral service announcements, I have one for this evening, and it's close to home. This is family, and just a wonderful, wonderful gentleman, Michael T. Lacey. He was born here in Sagersville back in '44, and he passed away yesterday in his hometown of Belleville, Illinois. His parents were Windsor Hurt Lacey and Helen Adams Lacey. He's survived by his brother Jerry, his wife Barbara, and has lived a wonderful life. It was just always a joy to see when he came back to Sagersville, McGoffin County, which he did as often as he could. I'm told that services are to be announced at a later date in honor of our much-loved Mike Lacey. Now, on to your weather forecast. Keep in mind, this radar was right around the 4 o'clock hour, which was when I was putting parts and most of the show together in an effort to say happy birthday to my little girl in Moorhead, and then make it back home before any potential stormy weather tonight. Most of the action's been comfortably and well to our north, so we haven't had to worry about anything all day, and it's going to stay that way for the next several hours, few hours at least. Still a lot of juice left in the tank, and you can see out to our west. We could be in for some showers and thunderstorms during the overnight, late evening and overnight. To the tune right now, the National Weather Service is calling of about an 80% chance of showers, thunderstorms, the bulk of which we would see before about 2 a.m. So don't get lulled into a false sense of security right now. It's still pretty nice out there, and we're not dealing with any showers or storms, but that could very likely change. And right now, they're calling for an 80% chance that it indeed will. We're talking about a half inch of rain if we do see some showers develop on the high side for everyone, by and large, with the exception of any showers, or not showers, but any heavy downpours or thunderstorms. And that'll wrap up pretty much your Thursday with a low of 68 degrees tonight. And more of the same. This is a pretty consistent run of some weather, not the greatest of forecasts and not the worst. We are stuck in the mid-80s with some sunshine, glad to report, and some shower chances, albeit pretty much each and every day throughout the rest of your 7-day. Tomorrow, patchy fog in the morning. We'll see partly sunny skies, 30% chance of showers and thunderstorms. I think that's mainly early tomorrow, like by 7, 8 or so. Then I think we'll see a dry Friday for the majority of the rest of it. We might even stay dry from the morning hours on with just mostly cloudy skies tomorrow night, out and ahead of what will be the next chance of some showers and storms on Saturday. So, again, lingering showers into the morning tomorrow, but otherwise, I think we'll be in for some sunshine, mid-80s, and dry conditions for much of your Friday. Saturday, partly sunny, 85. There are next round of showers and storms. We're talking like a quarter of an inch of rain for everyone. Again, with the exception of some possible thunderstorms that could develop for the first half of your weekend. Second half, pretty much ditto, 85, partly sunny, a 50% chance of showers and storms lingering on into the second half of your weekend. Not all that bad, just not picture perfect. And speaking of consistent, as I just did, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 80 83 to 87 will be your gradient. Sunny to partly sunny skies, and a 30 to 40% chance of showers. Again, this pattern has been relentless all summer long and shows no sign of letting up. As of right now, though, none of this packs any severe weather. After the chance for some pretty good thunderstorms tonight, although, 2, 3, 4 days away, we'll see what changes and upgrades and updates we make to the forecast then. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I think your next few hours are going to be safe and dry. I think tomorrow will be as well, and the weekend we'll keep the old umbrella handy, I am afraid.
And that is going to wrap it up. Again, the show put together a little early. Keep your eye on the weather overnight as this system gets closer. During the overnight is, of course, never to see any potential severe weather, but that is kind of where we are sitting and what we are watching as of right now. So please do so, and I will see you back here safe and sound and happy to wrap up this week of programming, I suppose, with me on the next and last edition of This Week for Your News Today. Good night. Thanks for watching.